to the Jacob Gospel Podcast. Jacob and Brandy Gospel here. Today we're talking about 2020, recapping 2020. So, man, I hear a lot of people talking about how terrible the year was and how they just can't wait to get it over with. But I loved it. To me, this was one of the greatest years ever because I've learned through the years and my wisdom and everything else to, when something bad happens, there's always opportunity there. There's always something to be learned. There's always a lesson. There's always, you just have to look for it. And I think what makes people so uncomfortable about it is we get caught up in just our comfort zone. And anything that changes it disrupts our normal flow of life. Typically, people get upset about it.
Yeah, it disrupts your routine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, but I think what we learned through the years is that we live at a total state of confusion. I think, with our kids being the ages that they are, 20, 14, and 7, we're always at different levels doing a bunch of different things. We have kids out the house, plus we have one all the way down to 2nd grade. So we're constantly outside of our comfort zone. And of course, man, when 2020 came, we all took a hit. Financially, we took a hit emotionally, especially emotionally for me. And for our kids, not being in school, not being around other kids and being able to get their frustrations and excitement and whatever out. But you always have to look at what's good in the situation because it's always going to be there. Like we talked about maybe last week or whatever week it was where, controlling your thoughts and looking at situations. Man, the bad's always there, but the good's always there too.
Yeah, the silver lining. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I love 2020. I had 6 months off.
We spent a lot of time together.
Spent an enormous amount of time with my family, my kids. I think I went 3 months consecutively every day. I think all I wore was a pair of shorts and maybe some shoes because I would go run down the road. I don't think I put a shirt on for 3 months and straight. Yeah. So that was good for me. Hey, I like it, but there was a lot of opportunity that came from 2020. Us and many other people started new businesses during that time because we were able to slow down enough to see the opportunity, to see the need, to fill a need in society. And hell, we started this podcast during the pandemic.
Yes, we did.
Or scamdemic, or hell, whatever the hell you want to call it. The shit that shut us down for 6 months or 9 months or whatever month we in, the 2 week, what it was, the 2 week, what it is, Heidi, the 2 week flatten the curve. Yep. Yeah, so here we are still 2 weeks in, flattening the curve, whatever you want to call it. There's opportunity in there, and you have to filter what people say and what people do, like our governors and many other governors shut down the state. And some things shut down, in the beginning we shut down and we were like, hey man, this is serious. And then once you get to understand what was going on, well then you kind of make your own rules. We do live in America, and America's a free country. So, you're able to navigate that and move past that. And thus, many of us started new businesses. So I want to encourage you to look back on 2020 and look at the good things that happened, because I promise you it wasn't all bad. You got to spend time with your family. You got to do things that you would have not been able to do if any of this wouldn't have happened. You got to, even if it was just seeing a different perspective on life, forcing to slow down. Mm-hmm. We have to be forced to slow down a lot of times. But that's just my take on it. I think it was great. I think it was one of the best years of my life, to be honest with you. Yeah. What you think?
I think it's kind of like Dr. Cloud says, for every thorn, there's a rose. Mm-hmm. And every day, at the end of the day, when we're sitting around either having dinner together or just kind of hanging out, we always ask the girls about their day, and we always ask them what was their rose and what was their thorn in every single day. And their rose is the best thing that happened that day, and the thorn is the worst thing that happened that day. And that way they can see that just because they may have had one thing bad happen during the day, there was also at least one good thing that happened. And they can always tell us about what that is. And it also gives us more than just a "it was fine" answer. We kind of get more than 3 words. But the year is no different. Of course, there were lots of thorns we had to shut down. People lost family members. We had 2 hurricanes. We also had to live through this election situation, which is driving everybody crazy. So there were thorns, but there also were roses. We did get to spend a lot of time together. We did have the girls home, and we got to spend more time with them. We got to try new things that we probably never would have tried. We tie-dyed t-shirts, and we really created our own workout routine at home, and we walked twice a day, and I think we actually lost a little bit of weight during the whole thing. So we took a couple trips that we probably wouldn't have taken. We really did have some good experiences and memories this year, despite all of the scary bad things that happened. So if you look, looking back on it, there were some trials and some thorns, but at the end of it, we're still here, and we learned a lot. We learned a lot of lessons and tried some new things, and we made some memories.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think too, one thing that you said was, for every thorn, there's a rose. And then I think a lot of people look at it as, if there's a rose, for every rose, there's a thorn.
That's right.
And that's an issue, because if you can't see both sides and be like, and always looking for the rose in the situation, instead of not expecting, the bad things to happen, not, oh yeah, there's a pretty rose, but there's a thorn in there. If you don't look back on 2020 and figure out all the roses and be grateful for 2020, for whatever it was, then you're going to move into 21 and it's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same damn thing next year. And you're going to be complaining about 2020 and blaming it. I mean, you're going to be complaining about 2021 and blaming it on 2020.
Yeah.
2020 this year can't be your crutch. You can't move forward with this if you don't get the lessons, be grateful for it, and move forward. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And if you look back, if you do that and you're honest with yourself, you're going to look back on your entire life and you'll blame something on every damn thing that happened. And it's just not, it's not true, because you could change your life this very moment. You can look forward and be like, hey man, whatever the hell was with 20, you may not know what it was. Some people may not be able to even see the rose right now because they're just like so caught up in the fog.
Yeah.
But even if you're just grateful and be like, you know what, I'm going to listen to what Jacob said, and I'm 2020, something good happened, even though I don't know what it was yet, and I'm going to figure it out.
You're still here. You're still breathing.
Right.
That's one rose.
Right. Corona didn't take your ass out.
It's like when people say that getting old sucks. Well, it's better than the alternative.
Right.
Which is not getting old, which means
you're dead.
Exactly.
Your ass is dead. So if you're listening to this video, be grateful for it, because your ass is alive. Because you know what? Dead people, unlike the election, dead people ain't watching this video.
That's right.
Dead people can't like this video.
That's right.
So anyway, we're going to cut this one short. We just want to recap 2020 and let you know, just to move forward with positivity and look on 2020 as a blessing, because it really was. It really was. If you search for the good things that happen, they're going to be there. So do that. Do yourself a favor and look at 2020, analyze it, find one good thing, besides you living and breathing. And I promise you, you're going to find many, many more. All right. Well, this concludes the Jacob Gospel podcast. And we thank you for listening. Make sure you like us on Facebook and share this video. YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe on there. Leave us some comments. And also, moving forward on 2021, if you want to, you got questions for us, you can shoot us an email, jacobgospel.com. You go in there, hit the button, shoot us some topics or some questions you want us to answer. We love each and every one of you, and we'll talk to y'all soon.